Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Today we will be having a session on customizing Chat GPT for our own Power Apps. And I am Aryan Arora, and I'm a beta Microsoft Learn student ambassador, currently pursuing computer engineering at Delhi Technological University in India. And we have with us Pascal, who is a gold Microsoft Learn student ambassador. So Pascal, I would like you to introduce yourself before we begin with the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ariane. My name is Pascal Borome. I'm Gold Student Ambassadors from DRC Milestone Gold, and I'm an MVP in Windows Insider Program. So, Ariane, will you start the session?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, okay, so what we will be doing in this session, basically, we will be learning how we can explore the different possibilities of combining ChatGPT, basically the OpenAI's API, with Power Apps. And we'll also learn to integrate it into our Power Apps. And you will also learn how you can build your own Power App from scratch. And this will not require any coding or anything like that. So it's basically a combination of PowerPoint and Excel in a certain way. So we'll have a lot of fun, and it will not require any prior coding experience. So moving on to the session summary, we will be basically starting with the introduction to Power Apps. Then we will also see how we can run these apps on our mobile phones. And then we will see what is exactly ChatGPT is, though I'm pretty sure all of you must know about it. Then we will see about OpenAI, and we will also do a demo of making a Power App using ChatGPT. And then we'll conclude and have some resources so that you can learn more about this. And finally, we will have some basically some details about the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program and a Q&A. So like if you have any questions in between, you can put them into the chat. Otherwise, we'll have a separate Q&A at the end as well. So moving on to the introduction to Power Apps. So basically, Power Apps is a suite of apps, services, connectors, and a data platform, which is usually Microsoft Dataverse. So you can also use your own database as well. That provides you with an opportunity to build custom apps for your business needs. This is a low-code system, so you do not require to have complete knowledge about coding. So with this allows you to build an app very quickly, and you can also connect it to the various services, APIs, and cloud services, and also connect to a database quite easily. And you can easily share these with anyone, and they can use them on their mobiles or tablets. Now, moving on to Microsoft Dataverse, this is a very cool software that allows you to create a database in an instant. Basically, it allows you to store and manage data that's used by business applications. So data is stored in a form of tables, and you can basically basically just use them directly. You do not need to create a whole server or anything because the service is provided by Microsoft automatically. So what is basically involved in building a Power App? So we have basically a website to build Power Apps, which has four main components. So this is the home page where you will basically uh, go and select what kind of app do you want to build. Maybe you can use a template, or you can start with the sample, like blank screen. And then there is the Power App Studio, where basically you have basically you can make all the edits, and you can add various data sources, add visual elements. Then we have the Power App mobile app, which basically allows you to run the Power App on your mobile phones. Maybe it's iOS or Android. And there's an admin center where you can basically configure the various components. And do remember that to follow along with the session, you will require a Microsoft developer account, which I'll just show you how you can create before the demo. So yeah, if you have that, then you can also try and go work along with us as well. Okay, so this is how the homepage will look. We'll also show you while building it. So, And this is a Power App Studio where basically you have the access to making changes to your app. And what this allows you is that basically you can basically drag and drop items and add functions. So these functions are quite a lot like Excel. So you have to just add those functions, and your application will become functional. And also the basically you will also go into in depth of this while giving the demo. Okay, yeah. So moving on to another interesting part. So once you've built your Power App, you can not only test it or run it on your browser, you can also run it on any device. You can download it on your Windows, iOS, or Android devices using the Power Apps mobile app. And using that, you can use it on your mobile phone. And what this allows you is that you can also make apps that require capabilities like GPS or camera and things like that, which may not be available with your PC or laptop. Is how you can run a Power App on your mobile. So you can just install the Power Apps mobile app, and once you've done that, when you log in with all of your credentials, you would get an option to run the app that you have already created. So you can run it and install it in your basically mobile device and use it. And this allows you to run it on various form factors as well. So you can either run it on phone or tablets. Okay, so now what is Chat GPT? Though I'm pretty sure you all would be aware about it. But for those who might not know about what it is, so basically Chat GPT is a large language model, which is a form of AI. What it does is basically when we feed it a prompt or a text, it is able to generate an answer through its large corpus of data. So, for example, we ask that, please explain me quantum mechanics in as a second grader. So it will go through its corpus, process that input, and provide an answer that is suitable to that. So that's what it's capable to do, and it is a great thing for writing tasks, making essays, and generating ideas as well. So like what now moving on to the some like who created it and exactly what it is. So ChatGPT is a language model developed by OpenAI, which is capable of generating human-like text responses to a given prompt. So you will give it a prompt and it will generate a response. It's based on the transformer architecture, which is a machine learning architecture, and it was fine-tuned on a very large corpus of text data. And who created it? So OpenAI is a non-profit artificial intelligence research company founded in 2015. This is also Microsoft has made investment in OpenAI as well, and its mission is to promote and develop friendly AI in a way that benefits humanity as a whole. Now, what kind of services that OpenAI provides? So OpenAI provides this API. So not only can you go to ChatGPT and use it for maybe having a random chat or maybe getting your homework done, but you can also use OpenAI's API to build your own business applications. Maybe you want to build a small startup, you want to build a small project to get started. So this is a great tool to do that. So you can build next-gen applications with OpenAI's powerful models. It's the model is GPT-3, so it performs a variety of natural language tasks, Codex, which translates natural language to code, and DALI, which creates and edits original images. So you can also generate images by feeding your text prompts. And it has the potential to bring a new level of automation and efficiency in our lives by providing access to cutting edge AI technologies for a wide range of applications, from natural language processing to robotics. And that's why Microsoft has been bringing up new innovations in this field, like the new Bing. You must have heard about the Bing, which has been integrated now with its GPT API. So you should also give it a try as well. And what can it do? So it can do a lot more uh, than just having a chat. It can be specified. So you can basically using this API, you can provide some prompts before basically setting the prompts beforehand, before feeding it to your customers. In doing so, you can streamline these responses. So for example, you can make a Q&A bot, you can make a bot for natural language processing, for writing code, for maybe providing like SQL queries, or you want to convert from text to make it into code. things like that. So you can do a lot of things. You can make an interview bot and things like that, and a lot more things as well. So now we will move on to the demo. Uh, just a second. Okay, I think my screen should be visible now. Yeah. So let's go to Power Apps. Yeah, so this is Power Apps. So you need to create your developer account as well in case you don't have it. I'll share with you the link for that as well. So you can click on this link and create a developer account. And I'll just show you once. So like this is the Microsoft 365 developer program. You can click on join now and fill the form with your various details and make your account. With that, you will be able to access it. Okay. So once you've done that, you can just sign in to Power Apps. Once you've got into Power Apps, this is your basically the home screen. So you have various options. For today, we will be focusing on Power Apps. So we just go to create an app, and let's say we select a blank app. And after that, we can select a canvas app. So we'll be building a basically simple app today. So we can click on create and we can select a form factor. Maybe we want to build it for phone or we want to build it for tablet. And we can also give a name. So for example, demo. Okay. So we give it a name. So it's opening up. We can skip this. So this is our main screen. Once you've basically opened an app to create it, this is a blank screen that you'll be having, where basically on the left side you have the various things that you can add. So various visual components, various data sources, media, and also you can integrate with Power Automate and things like that. On the center, you have the basically your app interface. So this is the main screen that the users will see, which you will show from your app. And the right screen gives you the various functions and tools that you can basically edit. So like you can have your various functions, the text that you show that can be edited from here as well. Okay, so before moving on to building an app, I would like to show you like what kind of application we can build with this so that uh, you get a better idea before moving on. Mm, okay, let's start with this. Okay, so let's say we have a movie to emoji generator. So in this, once we like, this is an app which has been built using Power Apps and the OpenAI API. So into it, like let's say we give a movie name, so it will generate an emoji for that. For example, we have cars. We can do that, and it will use that API, and it will create an emoji for that. For example, we have another like Finding Nemo. So now it will be able to find the context. So Nemo doesn't necessarily mean a fish, but it is able to find that context using that OpenAI's model and understand that Finding Nemo refers to fish. Also, another one we have, we can also build something which is able to calculate time complexity for your code. For example, you're learning coding and you're not sure about what is the time complexity of your code. So you can just like type your code or paste it here and it will calculate time complexity using the API. So I'll just find some code to put here. Let's say Okay, let me find some, maybe something which is a different time complexity. Yeah, so we have this. This is basically an login code. So let's see and run it. So I'll just paste the code. I will basically process it from the API, and it is able to detect like its time complexity. This can help you while you are learning about time complexity, or you want to know the time complexity of a particular code. So you can do that as well. And this is an advanced version of what you can do. So this will give you an idea of what you can do. Like this is kind of like a mini Chat GPT of your own. This is a slightly advanced version, which we will not go into this video, but in the session. So basically whatever, like it's, I mean, like we can add a lot of animations. You can see effects and all these things. So we can add that using Power Apps as well, and we can ask questions here. So we can ask questions and it will give a response. So it is able to generate a response like this. So now let's move back on to making our Power App. So yeah, so once we are here, so what we can do is that we can go to this insert button and we have the various options. So let's say we select a text label here. So we can add, so this is basically a text label which will not, which will basically be saying this, but like basically you can add value or you can add a function here. So for example, we can write something. Let's say, we build a movie to emoji generator. So we write that. Okay. So we can write that here, and we can also position it anywhere. So it's very much like PowerPoint, where you can basically drag and drop and move anything anywhere. You can have some design elements like maybe adding a rectangle like this, or you can also add various icons. Like for example, you want to add an alarm clock, so you can add an alarm clock here. You can also create elements and add them by yourself as well. So you can add things like that. So we can do all these things. And okay, and we also have things like buttons. So like we can add a button where basically we can have a specific function. So the function will be called when we press the button, and we can update a value in the app. So before making our app, let's go to the OpenAI platform to decide what would be good to build. So this is the OpenAI platform where there are various examples that we can refer to make a to basically make an app. So we can see various options. So we have these. So yeah, make sure to make an account as well. So once you have made an account, you can use their APIs. Let's say we want to build. Yeah, how about we go with this? So let's go for a tweet classification. So what we need to do here is that basically all the parameters are provided here already, which we need to feed to the API. Now the prompt is very important, so we need to give it a prompt as well, so that it is able to basically understand what we are specifically looking for. So that's an important part that we need to keep while making an app. And they've also provided a code, so in case you want to make your application which is not on Power Apps, you can use this code as well directly. So let's make a advanced tweet classifier here. Yeah. So let's go to here. So we will just add some text here. So let's add some simple text elements, and then we will move on to the basically uh, to basically building the main functional part of it. So we can add like a text here, and for example, we will just take some input. So we will take input for the tweet. So before that, we will add a label here. So tweet. And we can then add a text input. So we will be taking the tweet input. So we can add that here. And we can also add some hint values. So for example, type your, and now we want to show the response. So we can take another text table for that, and we can keep it here. So we will add the value for this later on. And now moving on to the button part. So this is the main part that we need to work on. So let's first enter the name. So let's say classify. Okay. Now in this button, we want to add functionality. So to add that functionality, we will add the OpenAI's API here to our data sources. So click on add data. Type OpenAI here. So this is a connector which has been built by an independent publisher, which we can use directly in our Power App. You can click on it and click on add connection. So here we need to enter the API key. So I'll just show you how you can generate an API key as well. Yeah. So this is the OpenAI's website. So you can just go to your account and click on view API keys, and you can create a new API key here. So just create it, copy it, and you're done. So you've created an API key here. So after doing that, we are ready to add it in the Power App. So moving on to here. So we also need to check the instructions. So this is an instruction that we need to keep into mind. So we need to enter the word bearer space and then the API key. So I'll just type that here. And I will enter the API key. Accept and connect. Yeah. So the API key has been added. So we have successfully created a connection with the OpenAI's API. So that part is done. So now moving on to the button. So we go to the button, and here we have go to the advanced part option, and there is an on select. So this will basically do when we click on the button. Basically it will call on a function that we have created. So doing that, so we can just open it, and so this is the place where you can type the function. So what we will do is that we will basically, because the API gives us a response which is basically in a JSON format, so we will have a collection here to collect that. We use clear collect because we need to basically keep like we need to remove the previous collection after we have pressed the button a second time. So we can just make it, for example, tweet. We can make the collection of our own. And now we need to provide the item. So in this case, it is OpenAI API. So we will just add that here, and we can use the function that we have. So we will use completion here. You can also use create image, which uses a DAL API, which is basically going to allow you to basically like create images based on a prompt that you'll be providing. So adding that here. Then we need to select an engine. So we will have various options for that as well. So we will just see what engine do we need to keep. So we need to keep text DaVinci 003. So we will keep that. Okay, so we will select that here, and so this is basically the engine that we are using for this particular purpose. Then it's a prompt which we will basically be taking as input. So before that, we'll be taking the prompt from here as well. So we need to take this prompt from here. Okay, I don't think so we need that much. We can just keep. So we can add a prompt here. So we can take this and the last part of the prompt, which is basically tweet sentiment ratings. So we can add this. We can add this and we can add and is basically like a plus operator. So here we can then add our text input. So my text input one. So this is the text input one that we created here and dot text, which will give us a text from the text input. So we will then provide this and then we can add another and we can add the rating. Sure. So this is basically the prompt part is done. Then moving on to the settings of the various parameters. So I'll just set the parameters here. So the temperature is 0. And then we need to select the next parameter, which is the max tokens. So in our case, it is 60. And then it's best of 1.2. And the rest we can keep default. Close the brackets and dot choice is basically the answer that we will get. So we will add that here. And we need to close this. Yeah, so we have basically now what we've done is we have used the API key here, like the API. So with that, we have fed the various prompts that we need to provide and the various parameters. And based on that, the API will give a response, which will be stored in this variable tweet, which is a collection, which is here. The response will be stored here. And now to access, so now we move on to the text table back again. So here what we will basically do is that we will use that the collection that we created. So we need to get the first object from the collection. We do first, then tweet. And we need to just give the text from it. So from the response, we'll be showing the text. So this will basically show the basically show the text what we get from the response here. So let's see and test if it is working. So let's have a tweet. Okay, so anyone would like to share a tweet here? Till then, I'll try and copy paste this. So if anyone would like to give a like a function or like any text to check. Yeah, so we get a negative here. If anyone would like to give some text to check, so we can try that as well. You can type into the chat if you want. So this is how like basically like the advanced tweet classifier will work. So we can add any kind of text and it will detect basically on that whether it's positive or negative. And so now if you want to make another kind of, maybe you don't want to make a advanced tweet classifier, you want to make something else. So in that case, what you need to do is you need to just change these parameters here. So in that case, you will choose a model depending on your requirements. So you can see it from the examples here. So in the examples, there's different engines that will be mentioned here. So you can select the engine. For example, you want to do time complexity. So we can select the engine for that. And there are also various parameters based on that. So there we have a stop sequence as well. So we can add these parameters which are mentioned here. and a prompt, and it will function that particular way after that. For example, you want to explain code, so we can select the code DaVinci 002, and then we can select the other parameters. And once we have done that, so it will basically take a code and explain it in basically natural language. So this is how you can basically build a Power App using Chat GPT, and you can also see your usage and the cost of the API. It's very like it's not very expensive. It's pretty cheap. So you get 1,000 tokens for $0.02. So it's yeah. Now we will move back to the presentation part. If there are any questions or if anyone would like to uh, ask anything, feel free to do that. Yeah, I think now view the. I think we are now view the presentation again. So moving on to the summary of what we did today. So we basically build a Power App, which allows us to build like a custom business app. So you can build it for different kind of applications. If you want to make a startup that, for example, helps somebody writing blogs, articles, or uh, maybe you want to make an website where basically students can come in and enter their code and basically get it into the natural language. So that is something that we can also do using this, and it's pretty easy to make it because it's like more or less drag and drop. So this also allows you to make a powerful new solution with the potential to increase process efficiency in areas of communication and data. And we hope that this presentation inspired you to make something and explore the possibilities of OpenAI's API and the evolving power of AIs. Yeah, you can get this API is free, so you basically get $18 worth of basically you get $18 worth of credits for every month. So you can basically use it freely during that period. So if for every month you get that, so once that is expired, you will have to purchase tokens. But for trial purposes, once you're starting to build something, then you can use it, and after that, maybe you can add your money to get more tokens. So today we understood about the basic elements of Power Apps, how we can build a Canvas app, customize the elements of your app, and also how we can share the app that we have created, and also the showcase the power of OpenAI's API and its capabilities, and how it can be used to build powerful applications that solve real world problems. So these are some links that you can, I think these links are clickable, so you can click on these links if you want to learn more. Otherwise, I will also share these links after the presentation in the WhatsApp group and the emails. So you can go through these links and basically learn more about Power Apps and how you can build your own different kinds of applications, how you can add different things like adding databases, adding other kinds of APIs, or other types of connectors. So you can do all these things. And there's also a challenge which is going on, the low code challenge. So you can also refer to that and participate in it to learn more about how you can do low code development. Now, I would like Pascal to give a brief introduction about Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program and share his experience as well.
Thank you very much, Aurora. Thank you for a beautiful presentations. So first, I would like to add some things about Power Apps and Power Platforms. So Power Apps, it is among part of Power Platforms, and this February, Microsoft released new feature in Power Apps, and I've seen that feature in Power Pages too. This feature allow user to convert your application to a mobile devices, for example, Android and iOS. So let me just share my screen to show you just a documentation, and I will pass the documentation in the chat. So this is a new feature. It has been added at 9 February. You can read it in 2 minutes. This functionality is it's use a wrapper wizard to build your mobile app. It is in preview, but you can test it if you want. So it includes this possibility to use a iOS like IPA package, a APK package, and maybe you can deploy it on Google Play Store. But it will need to have some requirements, like you need to have access to Azure Portal. If you didn't have access to Azure Portal, you can get free trial, and you'll get a credit for using Azure. And as previously, like Aurora just said, how you can get access to Power Apps, this is required to use an App Center. So this is a new feature, and it's a great opportunity to extend your app to your mobile device, and it can be able to be installed in different mobile devices. That is a great feature. And other things I would like to say, it's about Chat GPT. Yes, we in our country GRC, ChatGPT is not available. But if you need to use it, you must install an extension at VPN into your browser. You can if you use Google Chrome, or maybe you can use for example, you can use a private Java navigator which is compatible of different VPN. You can install it, and if you want to register, you can ask your friends or maybe other persons who lives in country where ChatGPT is enabled. It can facilitate you to be enrolled, or no, it can facilitate you to be registered to the platform ChatGPT. So let's back to the PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay. Okay. All right. Could you share your presentation PowerPoint?
Yeah, I just sharing.
Thank you. I've just passed the link, and you'll get everything you want to know about how to convert your power apps to an Android or an iOS devices. So let's share my screen to get that. All right, I've done it.
Okay, now I think it should be working.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so so what I'm going to talk about a Microsoft Student program. I think for me it was a good opportunity to learn new skills and to share my knowledge in different students around the world. And the Microsoft Student Ambassador Program, it's a program that helps students from different countries. You can be for example, you can be in Africa continent, you can be in Asia, you can be in Europe, in American countries, but we'll be in touch and we'll be connected together, and you can share knowledge within the different technology that we have already know, which can help another student develop his skills. And the student ambassadors program, it requires you to make impact with different students from around the world. How you can make a difference? Like, for example, you can learn skills. For example, like with this event where we just show you how you can build your app with Power Apps, but you can go very far by learning new skills and new technologies. And Power Apps, it work with artificial intelligence, which we call the AI Builder. AI Builder will allow you to develop a solution with directly integrate with artificial intelligence. All that things you will learn very good and in a good way. If, for example, if you are enrolled in student ambassador program, because we'll see how other students are make their events, and you'll try to make a difference. You will try to make an impact by to be more productive and more to give an inspiration for other student ambassadors. So secondly, you need to grow your skills and you build your reputation as a tech insider. Yeah, and each days and each month, Microsoft release new technologies that will allow people to solve real world problems. And we found in our world many problems, and technologies allow us to solve some of problems. And with evolving of artificial intelligence, Microsoft is trying to integrate that technology in their different services. For example, like previously with Power Apps, we use artificial intelligence to generate a sentiment of a phrases or a word, a paragraph. This is a new way that you can, for example, integrate a solution, for example, to take a sentiment, for example, for a chat, for example, for a tweet, to know how people can appreciate your product by this chat. It helps you directly to see people have a negative feedback or people have a positive feedback. And with these skills, it will help you to be more productive and to be more consistent for build solutions. And third, you to become a leader in your local tech community and empower your peers. So here, with more skills you have learned and with more event and practices and events you have learned, this will allow you to get other students. For example, it can be student ambassadors, students from your university, students for your country, students for regions, for example, for a continent. That all that will help you to teach them, to show them how they can build solution, how they can integrate technology, how to become Microsoft student ambassadors. They can learn this. And all of these things will help you to grow and to have a good mind and to have a different way to solve solutions. To become student ambassadors, it helps you again to have different benefits. But the benefits, it's you will get it in different milestones. If you want to apply to student ambassadors, you can just click on this link and directly it will be direct you to the web portal where you can register to the student ambassador programs. Then after that, we found different milestones. You can have alpha mile. Okay, firstly, when you are enrolled, you will be a new, and as a new, you will get different benefits such as Microsoft 365, TechSmith Sanist, and TechSmith Camtasia. All that still will be for you. You will get access free once you have will be admitted as student ambassadors. By practicing and reading some modules directly, you will be nominated as an alpha student ambassadors. And after that milestone, you will get other benefits. And if you continue to learn and practice by doing events, by doing collaboration, Microsoft will nominate to the next milestone, which is beta. And in beta, you will get your swag box, you'll get an expensive reimbursement. For example, if you made a physical event where you invite different students, you share your idea, you learn your idea, or you try to teach them different skills, different technologies. Microsoft will give you the money you spend. This is if you are nominated as a beta. According to my experience, I didn't try that, didn't reclaim that reimbursement. And by your practicing, by your collaboration, by your writing blogs, by making a great impact to the program, you will be nominated the final, which is gold. And a gold, that is something which is, I think it's amazing. You feel like you can feel happy to see I've reached all previous milestones. And as a gold, you will be directly nominate MVP in Windows inside our program. And you can be a speaker in a special event. You can get access to the MVP sessions where you can talk with your mentor, different mentors, you can get idea. And to be gold, it is an easy way for you to be nominated MVP, except for partnership of Windows Insider, but you can be nominated in MVP in other categories like AI, like business application, like so I think categories are 11, but I don't remember. But to become gold, it will be easy for you to be nominated MVP, just to be focused on one area of technologies. According to my experience, I've learned, I've practiced, I've collaborated, and I've made some peer mentorship with the other student ambassadors. That was among the key just helping me to achieve all milestones. And I think it is not the end. I'm going to continue to make an impact for the program. And one thing that I forget to say is, as you are gold student ambassador, you will have a possibility to be in pilot activity. Like if there is a new activities, like something new in program, they can ask you as a gold to submit your candidature. So once you have submit, if you meet all criteria, they can nominate you a pilot for this activity of this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for sharing your experience with everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the session and the experience about the MLSA program. And if there are any questions, you can add it into the chat. Otherwise, we will conclude the session. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you, Pascal, for giving your time and your support to everyone.
Thank you very much.
So we will conclude the session now. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, you have said that. According to share the link of the documentations. You get the link into to WhatsApp group or even on chat.
Oh yeah. Just a minute. I'll just share a few links. So yes. So these are the links where you can also apply to the Microsoft Ambassador program and the Power Apps and also the Low Code Challenge, which you can participate in. And if you have not joined the WhatsApp group, I'll just share that with you all so that you can join it and know more. So this is the WhatsApp group. So in case you have not joined it, so you can join the WhatsApp group. And I would suggest do participate in the low code challenge because this will help you learn and You can also win prizes in that. Thank you so much. So we are concluding session.
Thank you very much.